That's pretty good for me. That's actually really good for me. Let me actually go ahead and just put this guy in the chat right now, just to start us off, and make sure the chat is working, because it never does, because life is incredible and truly amazing, and we love it. I'm so full right now. I just ate spinach artichoke dip literally so quickly. Oh, the chat's a little fucked up. Let me fix her. There we go. There we go. Perfect. We're living, we're laughing, we're loving. But yeah, I ate too much spinach artichoke dip. Well, not too much of it. I think I just ate it too fast. I just kind of get excited sometimes. You know what I mean? Hi, Daphne 3333. 33333333. Welcome, welcome, everyone. My head hurts so bad. I just took something for it, but I have a terrible headache like right here. Oh shit, my noises are on. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you, Justin X ATAB, for 2 months. Did I not miss last night's stream? No, you didn't. I wasn't here last night. I was hanging out with my sister. My sister came to visit me, and she left this morning, so I went out to dinner with her. So that's why I wasn't here. But I'm here today. You didn't miss it. Don't worry. We're living, we're laughing, we're loving. You're literally shoving pasta into your face right now. Good. I'm happy for you. I just am mad at myself for eating it that fast. Oopsies. Whatever. Mad at myself because I feel like I didn't enjoy it, and I had been looking forward to eating that spinach artichoke dip, and I just could have made the most of it, and I didn't. And that's a hard realization to come to. You know what I mean? That's a tough one. Oh, I forgot to do something. Hold on. Let me do this right now. My head hurts so bad. I don't know why this is happening. You can always get it again, bestie. Yeah, that's true. It is from Trader Joe's, and I go there like twice a week. Has the bell rung yet? I forgot something in my locker. I mean, it did ring, but you can go back. Like, I'm not going to be an asshole about it. Obs, I would never. The school I taught at didn't have lockers. Is that weird? I feel like that's weird, personally. I think it's weird that school didn't have lockers. When you say last, do you mean we're doing more of the real estate stuff from now on? So, I kind of catfished you a little bit, I'm going to be honest. It's the last one because these are all the submissions that I have. So if people submit more, I'll do it again. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to keep doing history on Wednesday. And then I'll just do like random stuff on Monday. So like next Monday, I have a ton of terrible teacher appreciation gifts that people got. Like I found some on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. So like we're just going to do different stuff on Mondays. Sometimes it'll be real estate stuff. Sometimes it'll be teacher stuff. It's just going to be different things. If people submit stuff, I'll share them. I think what it'll be is it'll be like probably me sharing a couple, because I usually get like 1 or 2 a week. Like I'll share the ones that I've gotten, and then after that, like just do whatever I feel like doing is probably what's actually going to happen. But yeah, so it's not over, but you got to submit the things. I don't know what to tell you. Send the form out. I love people showcasing bad teacher gifts. Me too. Let me catch up with the chat. Oh my god, and the freaking chat is broken. Sorry. Everything's fine. Everything is good and fine and happy and good. And I'm not angry that the chat keeps doing this. Everything is good. Oh, I want this Tylenol to kick in really bad. Okay. The horror stories will be like our bell ringers from now on. Oh my god, you're literally right. The horror stories are going to be like your bell ringers. We didn't have lockers because they didn't want kids congregating in the halls because of COVID. Oh, I guess I can see that. But whatever, I don't know. I feel like there could have been a better solution there. It's weird. Honestly, I've never even used my locker in high school. I used mine depending on where it was. Like some years it would be in better locations than others, but I would use it sometimes. My school had so many lockers, no one would use them because they were too far to bother. Yeah, the high school I went to was huge, and so I remember one year I like barely used my locker because it was just like not in a convenient location at all, and so I just like left all my shit in a teacher's classroom that I liked. But other years when it was like in a good spot, I would use it. Okay, I caught up in the chat. Great, let's get into it. Oh, here, let me go on TikTok Live for like 1 millisecond of my life. My desk is a disaster right now. Like, it's a war zone up in this bitch. Truly. Ugh, I just feel very like meh, because I just ate all of that. Okay. Okay. The TikTok one is like really very much close to me. We're going to scooch that on over because that was kind of creeping me out a little bit. Okay, let's get into it. Oh my God, is the chat broken again? I'm losing my mind. My locker was never anywhere inconvenient. I swear they wanted me to carry all my textbooks. Honestly, that feels like a vibe sometimes. Like, they really don't give a fuck. Junior year, I got a locker near the freshman classes on the other side of the building. Finally able to make live because I have to quarantine. I'm sorry you have to quarantine. Actually, maybe you're into having to quarantine. I know sometimes, like, I think we're all mature enough to admit this. Like, sometimes it's nice when you get quarantined, you know, and you're like, hell yeah, I don't have to go to work for 2 weeks. Like, obviously you don't want to get COVID, but once you like feel like you're in the clear with the COVID part, getting quarantined can be kind of a vibe. Like, honestly, I made some of my best content when I was getting quarantined. Like, the 21 to 22? No, that's wrong. The 2020 to 21 school year, I got quarantined so many times, and like, I was really living. Like, I was eating good, chilling, no stress, sleeping in, wearing sweatpants. I did start to get depressed after a while, but sometimes it's nice for a little work from home break. I think we're all mature enough to admit that. Obviously, our government fucked up with the whole COVID thing, so I think we can take it where we can get it. You know what I mean? All right, let's go ahead and get into these, though. It's already 7:40. I was, like, pretty close to on time today, which is also great. Let me adjust my screen a little bit. Why isn't the fucking chat working, like, at all today? Okay, there it goes, I think, hopefully. I just keep putting that form in there because, like, maybe that will work. Okay, I'm going to skip through that. Thank you, Evie, for our slides. Evie made slides again. Yes, yes, yes. So, content warning, discussion of verbal abuse in this one. We are back at it with Prince George County Public Schools. So, we have seen people... Is this really the last time? So, it's the last time until more people submit stuff, because this is all the submissions we have now. So, it's the last time until other stuff gets sent in. So, but that's more up to the public than to me. But anyway, we are back at it with Prince George County Public Schools. I've gotten many submissions from these people. Like, from these people meaning like the people that attended this school, worked in this school district, what have you. We have a lot more today. There's like, I think 4 in there. Today I found out my new coworker used to be roommates with my sister's current roommate in New York City, and damn, it's really a small world. So I love small world stories like that. Like, there's one that I have, but it's like kind of overly complicated, and I don't think I'm going to get the details right, so I'm not going to explain it. But I love when stuff like that happens. I think it's amazing. It's incredible. Loving it. Oh, another good small world story. So my mom's friend from this women's group, her brother is like actually an executive at the company that I work for. So I was like, is that a promotion I smell? No, I'm just kidding. Kind of. But yeah, let's get into Prince George County Public Schools. So where I like put all of these together so that we can kind of all see them in the same spot of all the Prince George County Public Schools, but they were submitted at various times. Can we just do workplace drama? Oh my God, that's a great idea. Okay, I'll make the form. I'll make a Google form for workplace drama. That's another great idea. So, speaking of workplace drama, have y'all heard of the podcast Normal Gossip? I love the podcast Normal Gossip. Look at my eyelashes. They're like kind of fucky. I love the podcast Normal Gossip, but they like stopped making episodes. They were like, oh, we need to take a spring break. And then it was like over a month. I haven't checked in a couple weeks, but did they start making episodes again? Because like, what the fuck? So like, if y'all aren't going to do your idea, I'll do it because I was having a fun time. So if y'all aren't going to do it, I'll do it. JPop1331, you love normal gossip? Yeah, normal gossip is the shit. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll have 2 links. Like, I'll have my education-specific horror story one just because, like, the way it's set up on the back end, like, for me, I want to keep all those in one spot. And then I'll have, like, a just other job drama horror story. So, like, retail horror story, server horror story, like, anything like that. Like, retail stories from servers. What was the other one I was going to say? Drama, like workplace drama, family drama, like literally we can just story time it. Yeah, this is a great idea. Thank you. Who was that? Average Tay? Corporate? Anything you want. I have a drama story about when I was a student worker. That's a crossover episode. Office horror stories, like literally whatever you want. Oh my God, people are on the fucking, why do I not know how to talk? People on the TikTok live are talking about my Jersey Shore note. There's the Jersey Shore note for those of you that are on TikTok. And if you're on TikTok, I'm like doing things on the other screen if you want to link in bio, all the whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about Prince George County Public Schools because some fuck shit is going on there. So my principal is retiring this year and he is so beyond checked out. He gets on the announcements every morning and prattles on for 10 minutes and is always super inflammatory. Today though, he came on, is this the right one? Yeah. Today though, he came on and said to all of our students, seniors, if even one of you pulls a prank, no matter how big or small, your entire class will be at risk of losing your prom, your graduation, your senior week festivities, your eligibility to exempt finals, and your right to conduct promposals on school grounds. Young people, this school is better than other schools, and you are better than other students at those schools, so you need to act like it. We are good representatives of this country. Of the country? That feels like a lot. For teenagers, so we're good representatives of this country. Jesus. Fuck, I lost my place. You'd think someone that does this for streaming, like literally just reads as the stream, would be better at fucking reading. But no, I'm not. And here we are. And we need to be better than other people. As a teacher, I was horrified that he would say that actions of even one, no matter the prank, would cause the entire senior class to lose so much. This year especially, these kids have been through so much. Also to tell teenagers they're better than other people in the school system simply because they go to the school, especially when it's a magnet program that makes the school better grades. About 75% of our school isn't in that program. They're districted here. They have friends at other schools. Some of them have gone to other schools. How absolutely demeaning to everyone else, and way to make sure the kids feel and act superior to others at all time. If we want to raise servant leaders, not self-important, entitled brats, that is exactly what those kind of comments will accomplish. Sorry, that was really difficult to say. How many have we done so far? I'm late. You're in luck. We've done 1. You're in luck. We've only done 1. I miss working in HR because I'm nosy. I wish... Oh my God, you can't find the Twitch stream? The link is in my link tree. It'll be okay. I'm here with you. I'm seeing you. I'm loving you. Everything's fine. So you miss working in HR. I want to work in HR because I'm nosy. But my problem is I'm not good at secrets and I don't have a poker face. And like I really decide things quickly and take sides quickly. So I don't think I would be good about like being objective. Like anyone would report anything and I'd be like, yeah, I'm on your side. Like I think I'm too persuadable. 4 people resigned at my school because 1 male teacher was sleeping with 3 female teachers at the same time. All 4 adults were married to other people. Oh my God. That's crazy. Damn. The 4-person affair where all 4 people were married and none of them to each other. You need to put that in this thing. You need to put it. That's why we need workplace drama streams. Okay. TikTok live. You're going to have to hold still for a second because I need my fucking water. HR sucks. You're just having to protect the company normally. That's why I think I couldn't do it because I just like wouldn't care. And so I think I would get fired. You know, like I would like do whatevs and then the company would be like, yeah, you can't do that. And I'd be like, no, whatevs, you know. Our assistant principal got in trouble for sleeping with a student. I mean, that's really different. Like, that's really different than a teacher-on-teacher affair. Honestly, a teacher-on-teacher affair, like, it happens. Like, what do you expect? It's a bunch of adults in a workplace. Like, that should happen sometimes. But the other one is a crime. So, oh yeah, I got that promo, bought a house, and dipped. Okay. No sub, no problem. I've sent in a story before, but I wanted to add another highly unethical practice in Prince George County, Maryland. I'm a student teacher completing my master's program, and although I'm a competent teacher, my mentor teacher or another teacher of record does need to be with me in the classroom. Last week, my mentor teacher was out the entire week due to COVID. The school I'm at never sent a substitute teacher to be in the room with the kids while I teach, which is, as we know, illegal. So I was technically illegally subbing all last week, except for the getting paid part. This is a common occurrence at my school, and by the time my mentor teacher calls out, it happens anytime my mentor teacher calls out. This is nothing against my mentor. They are an excellent teacher and fully aware that this unethical practice by the school, because admin is fully aware, but I can only assume, doesn't send the sub because they don't want to spend the money. The principal even saw me at our student soccer game after school and jokingly asked if I was doing okay. I've heard multiple stories from other student interns in Prince George County at different schools, and they were all put in similar roles when admin simply doesn't get a sub or assign another staff member to a certain duty. I always get so distracted by TikTok. Like, I want to be on TikTok live right now, but like the chat just distracts me too much. So if you're on TikTok, please come to Twitch. The link is in my bio. You don't have to pay money. Don't worry. It's free. You can pay money, but it's not required at all. Also, if you're on here and you're paying money, thank you so much. Love that for us. But you by all means don't have to. If you want to, thank you. If you don't want to, still glad you're here. There's such a sub shortage right now in SK. They're saying, fuck it, let's call in second year uni students. Everyone thought my principal and guidance counselor were having an affair, but both of them were married. Also, they disappeared for an hour to do paperwork in the office during homecoming. Stop. During homecoming? If you are having an affair in your workplace as a teacher and like during homecoming, like, let's wait. Like, let's tone it down. You can wait a couple of hours. Go to a motel like a grown-up. Oh, we're doing paperwork in the office during homecoming? Yeah, okay. That checks out. That absolutely checks out. Jesus Christ, during homecoming. That reminds me of the temporary COVID licenses to graduate nurses that didn't take their NCLEX. OMG, so scary. Did they ever have to take that? I don't really know how that industry works, if we're being honest. I had 2 teachers in high school who were married to each other, and they were so adorable, not gonna lie. I think that is cute, and that is a vibe. The high school I went to had a lot of teachers that were married to each other, and it was like cute for them and gorgeous for them. I love that for them. The times that I think it's weird is the high school that I went to, like I attended, not that I taught at, had a ton of married teachers that both went to that high school and were high school sweethearts. And that's weird to me. That's weird. Why haven't you done anything else geographically, career-wise, or relationship-wise? Like, that's weird to me. I'm sorry. If you're in that situation, I'm sure it's great. I'm happy for you and whatever, but like, that is odd to me. That's very odd, personally. Guy with the taco followed you. That's the only kind of guy I'm okay with following me, is if there's tacos involved. That feels like a cult. It is. It is. Me and my friends from high school always talk about it. We're like, they always find each other. Like, that's a cult that we were in fully. We escaped, but we were in that cult. I had a teacher who was married to another teacher who had been her teacher in high school. Wait a minute. Okay, so you were in school. This person was your teacher, and they were married to another teacher at that school, but that person had gone to the school and been taught by the person that they were currently married to. I just want to clarify that that's what's happening here. That's like your grand teacher. I don't even know. Like, her husband is your grand teacher. That's like your school grandpa. That's so fucking weird. That is so fucking weird. If they both work at that school, that's like extra weird, because if only one of them works at the school, like maybe the government doesn't know about it, you know what I mean? Like, I could see where if they worked at different schools, they could have gotten away with that. But like, if they both work at that school that she attended, bro, full investigation for everybody involved, a full investigation. All right, let me catch up with the chat. She was like 40. They'd been married for 15 years. They met when he was a new teacher and she was a senior. I mean, it's not, that's like better than it could be. But like, that's not good. My student teacher's friend's dad, okay, married a woman he taught in the 7th grade. Oh my God, I was struggling so much with the first part of the sentence. I had no anticipation of the second part of the sentence. Married a woman that he had taught in 7th grade. That's a child. That is a child. Married a former child that he knew. At their wedding, he talked about remembering her and thinking about how cute she was. How does it keep getting worse? How does it keep getting worse? Like, the more I read, it gets worse. Oh my God, not my mugshot in the chat saying jail. Stop. That's not a mugshot. It looks like a mugshot, but it's not a real one. 2 married teachers had an affair with each other and they're now married. He just asked to move his room closer to her too. That's fucking bold. That is bold. If you had a public work relationship that dissolved 2 marriages and then you were like, hey, can we make our classrooms closer together? I wish I had that kind of audacity. Like, what? Imagine asking that. I would be so embarrassed to ask that. I would call the police if I heard that at a wedding. If I at a wedding heard the groom talking about how cute the bride was in 7th grade, unless he was also in 7th grade at the same time as her, I don't want to hear it. Like, jail. Immediately jail. They'd be like, hi, I'd like to report a bomb. You need to clear the building immediately. Grooming. Literally, God, so creepy. Oh my God, first time chat, that one guy 20. My old district has so much drama. Principal sleeping with a student. Ugh. To his wife bringing a gun on campus. To his wife telling a student to get it when she reported that her husband hit on her. Imagine being a grown woman and finding out that your husband is hitting on a child and then blaming the child. Imagine blaming the literal child in this scenario. Jail. For everyone. Jail. Absolute jail. Man, the chat's going crazy right now. Loving this up in here. I'm not a teacher, but an EMT, which is just as bad. We had a supervisor have to set down because she was having sex with a coworker and his wife showed up at the office. Oh my God. I heard a rumor. I don't know if this is true at all, but I heard a rumor about my old principal that so before he was the principal of my school, he was the principal of a different school. And I heard a rumor from someone that worked at the other school that his wife used to call the front office screaming about how he was cheating on her. And it would happen all the time. And it hurts so bad that I'll never know if that's true. I'll never know. I'll just never know if that actually happened or not. Asking to move rooms closer is big John Mulaney voice. Can my girlfriend come? Energy. It is. It's like, y'all fucking live together. Do you have to have classrooms next to each other? We had 2 English teachers in high school that were married to each other at the same school. Then they had an affair together, both got divorces and married each other. Oh my God. These schools are so messy. This is crazy. I can't imagine how people think that shit's okay. I'm 23 and I teach 12th graders and I'm like, look at them. That's a literal child. My school had an hour internal lockdown because cocaine was found in the bathroom ceiling. Oh my God. I thought my school was crazy. Y'all schools are fucking wilding out. Oh my God. Okay. So we're going to continue with Prince George County Public Schools. Actually, here's a meme for you. I should have had this meme up while we were dicking around. If you're on TikTok Live and you want to see the memes, you need to go to Twitch. Oh, I just realized my shit is wrong on here. I'm going to fix it. Give me 1 second. My dumb ass. My dumb ass. My God, why can't I type? We're going to hang out and look at this meme, though. It's going to be great vibes. I binged Euphoria again today. That's hilarious. I loved Euphoria. I heavy fucked with Euphoria. I loved Euphoria. So good. Okay, I fixed my TikTok thing. Ugh, I like need to turn off the auto moderation for this conversation because like so many people are talking about these wild sex scandals at their places of employment, which is crazy. I just realized you can see like way too much of my body on TikTok Live. I don't love that that was just happening. Great. Okay, let me focus. The sweetest, kindest biology teacher at my high school married the meanest English teacher who said the N-word while she was coaching football. Oh my God. What? I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not that. It took me a while to find your Twitch because the name was wrong in your caption. I know, that's what I just realized because I literally have 2 brain cells. So I just went off of TikTok Live and then redid it so that I could fix it. Sorry, I'm literally the worst. Not me remembering when I was in high school and our district superintendent tried to blackmail the new high school principal with revenge porn. He also threatened her by saying he had a Glock in his Tahoe. Okay, so I just want to like break down what we just read. The superintendent, okay, threatened or blackmailed the high school principal with revenge porn and also said, I have a Glock in my Tahoe. For those of you that don't know what that phrase means, that means I have a weapon, presumably a gun, a handgun is usually the term that a Glock is used to describe that. I have a handgun in my Chevy Tahoe. That is an SUV vehicle. It's one of the greatest on the markets. I haven't driven one personally, but I hear great things about them. How do you even call HR about that? Like, what's the call that you make? You're like, hi, I'm a teacher and I'd like to, or I'm a principal, I'd like to report a wrongdoing. And then they're like, what happened? And you have to be like, oh, the superintendent said that he has a Glock in his Tahoe. Like, no one would believe you. That's a family car. It really is. Oh my God, the person who had the Coke in the ceiling at school, the town is in a literal cornfield. Where did it come from? No more shows about high schoolers fucking, more shows about high school teachers fucking each other and all kinds of messes for themselves. I got a Glock in my Rari. One of my best friends in high school hooked up with the married cross-country coach regularly. Sweetie, your best friend is a victim. I hate to be the one to break it to you if I am. Oh my God, someone to link to that one, the family car. Except I got a Glock in my superintendent. Babe, wake up, new Abbott season just dropped. He was literally sending pics to school board members. We called him Doug the Thug back in the day. This is insane. That is batshit crazy. I don't think I'm ever going to be over that. Do y'all know what this GIF is from? Does anyone know? My dad used to watch this show. He's like very much a cable TV guy. Big cable TV guy. My father is. So I don't know if anyone knows what this GIF is from. If you're on TikTok, I'm sorry that the description was wrong. I fixed it. If you want to see the memes and you want to read, you can join Twitch. The link is in my bio or it's right there. It's free. We love you. Welcome. Feel free to join the party on over here. Let's continue to go through more of these. So this is again, we are still on Prince George County Public School, Maryland. If you are from this county and you want to submit a story, let me know, send it to me. But we're still on these people. American Housewife is the show. Y'all are good. The APUSH teacher at my high school was chatting up students after they graduated, and I just found out that he was deaf fucking students before graduating. That is not good. That is not good. A former principal from my school was arrested. Oh my God, these are terrible. God. Who do we have working in these schools? Jesus. Okay, so the brand new testing coordinator, again, Prince George County Public Schools is who we're talking about. The brand new testing coordinator left a student teacher all by herself during state proctored with like 200 students for MCAP, the Maryland state test. Kids were throwing water bottles. The testing coordinator collected materials before everyone was done and time wasn't up yet. People were talking. It was chaos. Kids were crying. What the fuck? Like, I'm 17 and even I know that's not how testing is supposed to work. And you don't have to be grown to realize that that's not supposed to happen. That's another thing that's scary is like, I would see illegal shit happen with standardized testing all the time. Like kids that had to take tests in like really terrible environments, like super freezing rooms or super hot rooms. Kids that had to take tests on computers that like were non-functional. Like my kids had to take a standardized test that had a listening portion of it. Like it would like play audio tapes, kind of like a podcast, I guess. And sometimes like the headphones wouldn't work and shit like that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's literally like such a shit show. In the American public school system, we love it for us. The guy I'm friends with basically pretended to be a U.S. senator, and a school let him come speak without looking up if he was, and then he had to serve in jail for 30 days. All of this could have been prevented if they just Googled his name. I'm sorry. He pretended to be a U.S. senator, and they let him come speak. They let him come speak, and he was just like, yeah, I'm a senator. I'm from Prince George too. You could make a show about what happens here. If you would like to tell us anything, there is a link. But J.S. Scary, yeah. That's what I've heard from these submissions. It seems like Prince George County Public Schools is not the vibe. The crazy thing is, my mom actually grew up not in that county, but like in that area. And one time I told her, I was like, oh, I get all of these from this county in Maryland, and like it's really bad there. And she was like, oh, what county? And then I told her, and she was like, holy shit, that was a shit show when I was in school. And she basically said, like, even when she was in high school, like, it was terrible. You'd always hear terrible things that happened in the schools there, and there was always like a lot of problems. It's funny because there's only 100 senators in the country. Yeah, on back to that senator thing, like, that's pretty wild. Prince George where? Prince George County Public Schools. It's in Maryland. Yeah. But yeah, let's go through some more Prince George County Public Schools. So, hey there, back at it with fucking Prince George County Public Schools. So I have a student teacher this year. She's like the sweetest, kindest teacher I've ever had in this county. And this is from a student. This is a long one, and it's from a student. It's not super clear that it's from a student at first, so I wanted to say that. Canadian schools are just as bad. A few months back, my sister's classmate brought in a gun and was showing all his friends. Families were never notified. Damn. Holy shit. Okay, so I have a student teacher this year, and she's like the kindest teacher I've ever had in this county. I have never felt like a teacher cared about me as a whole person until I had her. She's from Georgia originally. She's white, and my school is predominantly black. Twins. The actual teacher is also white. Sometimes kids will make fun of her for her southern phrases or her accent or whatever, and she always laughs about it and takes it really well. She's never gotten upset at us about teasing her, and even teases herself, except for when students will say things that blanket the South as one terrible place and super racist and lump her in with no critical thoughts, because that's what the county teaches us. That no one here in Maryland is racist, but everyone in the South is. That's fucking bullshit. Because first of all, the only reason Maryland wasn't a Confederate state is because the president threatened to send federal troops if we did. But all for critical race theory, they would never teach that to us in Prince George County Public Schools, because that would make us sound like we aren't God's gift to the North. We aren't even the goddamn North. We're below the Mason-Dixon line. Not that anyone would ever cop to that. My Nana is from Georgia, and she's always said that Maryland is more racist than the South, because at least in the South you can see from the start the difference in the people who are going to try and, not a good word, trigger warning, lynch you, and people who won't. And she says most of the time they won't, but there are a bunch of segregation because fake woke white people love to help us as long as we stay in our place, which, as you can tell by the stories from Prince George County Public School, is not a great place to be relegated to. Students in the chat, do your high schools have unofficial confession/rumor pages? I can definitely say a lot of high schools do have those pages, because the high school that I taught at would have those pages. My cousin is in high school. I keep up with her on the gram. They have those pages. Like, those really, they have the pages. For real. The gossip pages are very much a thing. Also, me and this woman are literal twins. Like, my students, I taught in an inner city school, and like I was really like probably the only person that looked like me in that school for the most part. At least like in the classroom. And my students would make fun of me all the time for my southern accent, so I just felt funny that I had like a lot of parallels with the woman from this story. Very similar experiences, you know. Ohio, and here, the amount of Confederate flags plastered on trucks in the high school parking lot is insane. Bro, people don't even know what the Confederate flag is, like, to be honest. They don't even know. Okay, part 2 of 4. Anyway, the actual teacher in this class started saying really awful things to her about being from the South once she got a job back in her hometown. She was really excited to tell us about the school, and he was like, I guess racism doesn't bother you then. It was completely unprovoked. Like, she was talking about the classes she would be teaching in dog. What the fuck? No one even knew what to do, and she couldn't tell if he was joking or not. And she was like, I wouldn't have taken the job if I didn't believe the school system was actively working to cultivate young leaders who make the world a better place, which is just the kind of person she is. She's so kind and so positive always. She even said she's from the metro Atlanta area, and it's very diverse, and she wouldn't like working at a school that wasn't a part of all the shit the governor is trying to do. But our teacher just kept egging her on. She's a very extroverted person, but she just shut down and sat at her desk and started working on something else, I guess, because our teacher kept trying to gotcha her into saying something racist in a room full of black and brown kids, which she would never do. This teacher sounds like they're really like not passing the vibe check. Student teacher sounds great. Actual teacher sounds not ideal. I gotta say, our teacher honestly treats us more like he's racist than I can ever imagine her doing, because he will actively, in front of us, talk to us about other students in their earlier classes. I'm in honors. The kids earlier are on level, and say things about how he doesn't care about them to us. And we know them, and our student teacher will always get really uncomfortable and try and save it. Like, oh, XYZ isn't a bad kid. He's a good kid that just makes bad choices sometimes, but don't we all? And like, one of the kids is my twin brother's best friend, and he said that our student teacher sat down with him one day when he came in late and talked to him, and he was like, she told me she believes in me, and no one had ever said they knew I was smart before. And then our actual teacher came behind her and loudly was like, you're going to fail this class if you don't come to school on time, and it's going to be your fault. You have a 47 right now. Our student teacher heard this happen and worked with my twin's friend and got his grade up to passing, but now that she isn't the lead teacher or whatever, my twin's friend won't do any work because our main teacher is just so mean to him and actively promotes that he is a lost cause. How it feels when you're making progress with a kid and then another teacher or administrator fucks it up with one comment. That's literally the worst fucking feeling in the world, and it has happened to me a gazillion times. So I have a lot of empathy for the student teacher in this story, because like, there'll be a kid that's like barely been in school, you know they're a good kid, and you're making progress with them. Like, you're building a relationship with them, you're having a good talk with them, like things are going well, and you can tell that the kid is like starting to trust you a little bit, and that means like maybe we can start to get somewhere. And then another teacher will either walk by, or at another moment, or an administrator will say something fucking rude, and it literally destroys like all the progress that you tried to make. And it is a terrible feeling. I hate that feeling so much, and I have felt it many a times. Also, TikTok is kind of distracting me, so I'm going to go bye-byes for a little bit. If you want to continue to party, my Twitch is like in the description, and it's in my bio if you would like to come join us. But yeah, that's a terrible feeling, so I feel a lot of empathy for this woman. So, like when a kid comes in, when a kid comes in tardy, our student teacher is always like, I'm so glad you're here, and genuinely, without making a scene, catches them up on whatever we're doing and talks to them about how to make up anything they missed. And our teacher is always like, glad you decided to make time to grace us with your presence, in a really mean tone. And he's always like, if you're late, I'm not helping you. You got to figure it out on your own. But the thing is, sometimes buses don't get here until second period. We're a really poor school, so a lot of us have to get siblings on buses. A lot of kids are late because they don't give a shit, but most of us are late because we have adult responsibilities. There are so many student teachers that I've had in my years, and not a single one has stayed in Prince George County Public Schools. They're all good teachers. They care too much to stay in a county that abuses its students' teachers and has no leadership skills and degrades people for caring about others. I would never send my children to school here, and I will never forgive my parents for keeping me here. My student teacher's last day is in a couple weeks, and I'm so sad because until June, and I don't want to go back to having that white man act like a white savior all the time. He is the fucking worst. We don't like him at all, and he's so mean to her, and she has never done anything to him. Like, bro, why are you making fun of her in front of students for caring about us too much? What does that teach her, and what does that teach us about our value as people? That's fucked up. Congratulations to Georgia, though, because y'all are getting the best teach I've ever had. Take care of her or else. I'm going to be honest, I'm about to cry right now. Just like full disclosure, I am about to cry. This reminded me a lot of my students. Like when they said like the ending part just reminded me of them, and now I'm like very much in my feelings. But this is a very sweet story in a way, because you could tell that this student teacher like really did a good job and like is really a great teacher, and she's actually teaching like kind of near where I grew up. So it's like, I don't know, this one just really struck home with me in a lot of ways. I'm happy for her. And you're right, Betty Crocker Homemaker, everyone in Prince George County Public Schools needs free therapy. Literally everyone there does need free therapy. That is correct. So me to this student teacher, because she seems like an angel. She seems so nice. And I wish I could give these kids a hug and go be their teacher, because I miss teaching and I'm sad for them and I'm sad for me, and everything is sad, but everything's fine. We're great. Everything's awesome. Love, laugh, learn. Okay, content warning, discussion of gun violence. We're still in Prince George County Public Schools, I believe. So, let me make sure of that. Are we? Yep, we are. So, on the first nice day of spring, I took my kids outside. We had a death in the school right up the road, like a mile away, and students needed a mental health day, so I let them run on the field and just be teenagers. Some of these kids had watched their friend get shot a week before, and they just needed to be taken care of mentally. One of the PE teachers comes outside and yelled at me for 5 minutes in front of my students for having the kids outside, although I had permission from the office. I told her I would get the kids off the track in the field, and she told me that that wasn't the problem. I had to go through the PE department to be outside, which isn't true. She told me again she was going to call the administrators and have them fire me for breaking protocol. Again, this is happening in front of my kids. I told her I would take my class and started to call them in, and she was like, no, you're already out here. I don't want to punish your kids just because you're a waste of brain cells. Ew, I just burped a lot. Student teachers get treated like this, then people wonder why there's a teacher shortage and people don't want to be teachers anymore. Can we send this school district some resources or something? This is horrible. So honestly, that's one thing that I so often see, like, oh, we can send resources and things like this, and that's great. We all need stuff, but a lot of the stories we've heard seem like they're just from incompetent leaders, and I don't know how we fix that. It's a harder problem to fix. Not the PE teacher acting like she loaned the school her own land. Yeah, for fucking real. Fire them. I just can't imagine giving that much of a shit about any job. If I was the PE teacher and I saw some random kids outside and they had a teacher with them, I'd be like, whatever, man. It's probably fine. I just don't care enough to do anything. Again, all of this is in front of my student. She storms inside. Oh my God, still tiny. Thanks for subscribing. She storms inside, gets an administrator, and in my next period class, brings the admin into my class and yells at me in front of a whole new group of students. The admin is the same one I had talked to literally 2 hours before and received written confirmation that I could take my students outside. I tried to move the conversation outside because my kids didn't need to hear all of that, and she said no and continued to yell at me. She said kids can't be outside anymore because kids are getting shot up and down the street. If you take them outside and there's a drive-by, that's you. And then she left. It's so common to be yelled at by other teachers and admin in front of students. I can't even count how many times it's happened just this school year. I grew up in Prince George County Public Schools, and I wanted to give back to my community, but I can't do it anymore. I turned in my resignation the other day, and my principal, who was also planning to leave, by the way, came into my classroom, interrupted my lesson, and asked why I was resigning and abandoning my kids when the kids didn't know yet. So that was cool of him. So Prince George County Public Schools, Maryland sounds like it's really not the vibe, and it sounds like it's a terrible place to work. I want to know what the admin said. Gab Page said the same thing in the chat. What did the administrator do? The one that had given you the permission? What did they do in this? What they say? Were they hey, relax? I don't, what'd they do? The PE teacher screaming at you again in front of a fresh batch of kids. That's what gets me, is that they yelled at them in front of 2 groups of kids. Because I have honestly, I have been unprofessional as a teacher. I've gotten into it with other teachers in a way that was not ideal. It was never in front of kids and it was never that bad. But there's been times that I had to go back and be hey, sorry, I shouldn't have said X, Y, or Z to you. I get it. But I always calm down and go back. I can't imagine leaving the situation and then being you know what? Let me walk down there right now and involve a bunch more people in this matter. That's what's getting me, is the leaving and coming back. Because if I had a teacher come tattle to me about another teacher doing something I gave them permission for, that PE teacher would have gotten written up. I literally, if I was the administrator when the PE teacher came into my office, I would have been get the fuck out. We're not doing this. I gave them permission. Get over it. I just submitted a very fun paragraph about my school. Hopefully they figure out it's about them and sue me. You'll make me laugh. There's a surprising amount of parallels between the healthcare system and education system. Very similar issues that I'm hearing. There is a ton of parallels. I think it's because a lot of it is like predominantly female, and because it's both healthcare and education both serve groups of people that are not creating value under capitalism. Like, those groups of people have value. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they're not creating monetary value in production under capitalism. Like, children, obviously some teenagers work, but overall children are not creating money into our economy. And then like people that are sick, people that need extensive health care, all of that. Like, those people are also generally not producing a ton into the economy. So, and teachers and nurses are predominantly women. So I think that's why you see a lot of the same institutional issues, because a lot of them stem from the same places of like misogyny and like capitalism driven organizations and like all of that, you know? Not to get too deep. I think a lot of it is that you go in saying, I want to help, and then shitty people at the top are so jaded, beat it out of you, and EMS, which is completely male-dominated. Interesting, yeah. That adds up. I hate it here. Garrett followed me. Tater Thoughty's ex. I love that username. I love that for us. Not Betty Crocker homemaker wanting to get sued. Listen, sometimes you need a lawsuit to keep things interesting. Picture it. Prince George County Public Schools in 2022. We had no admin in our building today. 0. Prince George County Public Schools admin when someone asked them to come into the school building. I feel like, okay, this is the vibe that I get from this submission. Like, I feel like someone was at work and was like, fuck this bullshit, and did this, like, submitted this as therapy, which I love. If you're at work and you need to rant, feel free to send it my way. Like, I think they looked around and were like, fuck this. They were like, I don't have anyone I can tell about this, so I'm just going to tell Miss Redacted because I can't fucking deal with this bullshit. And I'm here for that, and I appreciate you sharing. Don't threaten me with a good time. Okay. Another Prince. Is this Prince George County Public Schools? Yeah, it is. God, there's so many. Hi, ES teacher here. I think ES is like special education. I don't know. Oh, no, elementary school, right? Do these people submitting these hang out and rant? LMAO? Maybe. I don't know. Elementary school teacher here, I think. We get major religious holidays off for 3 major religions in our area. That is a common way to schedule the calendar so that students don't miss instructional time for religious reasons. It's clear that in my county, no one asked practitioners of any of the faith which holidays are most important to have off. This year alone, they gave Passover on the wrong week and Ed on the wrong day. Additionally, we only get Yom Kippur off and not Rosh Hashanah or any other Jewish holiday. When some of the Catholics asked for Ash Wednesday off instead of Easter Monday, they were told Ash Wednesday wasn't important enough of a holiday. This is an extremely Catholic area, and we had so many students out in my class this year that we just had to watch movies. The school board has made it clear that we don't actually care about religious holidays, and they are giving off our people's ability to celebrate them with their family. We need to put Prince George County Public Schools on the bingo at this point. Oh my God. New drinking game just dropped to take a shot every time Prince George County Public Schools is mentioned. I would be wasted. Oh, I should start drinking. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm going to drink those Smirnoff Ices that I hate. Yeah, that's the vibes. That is the vibes. Oh, oopsies. That was loud. Maryland is pretty Catholic. I'm not familiar with the state of Maryland. Actually, I'm really not. Where is Quarter Life Crisis with the bingo card? I don't know where she is. I don't know. I think she might be busy. I think she does stuff on Tuesdays. I really don't know. Oh, I can't open this. Is this a twist off? It says it's a twist off, but it's fucking lying to me. Literally, Maryland was the first state to allow Catholicism or something. I cannot open this. This is painful. Why did you leave teaching? So let's get into that right now. I would say the number one reason I left teaching was financial. My student made me this. Let's see if it works. The number one reason I left teaching was financial reasons. And then number two is I was working for a principal that was extremely toxic, was extremely abusive, was extremely manipulative, and was creating a really hostile work environment for me. So if the financial aspect was not a part of it, I would have stuck out the rest of the year there, and I would have taught at a different school the upcoming year. But I needed money. Like, I want to get a place by myself. I have financial goals I want to reach, and it was going to take so long in teaching to get a raise. I live in South Florida. Rent has increased so dramatically over the last year that I just couldn't afford to keep teaching. So that's the reason I left teaching. But the reason I left my school was because of my principal. I like my new job. Not my podcast announcing their live stream at the same time as this one. How will I manage this? I like my new job. Let me get this blanket so I can open this bottle. Hold on. Sorry. It was a twist off, but it was hurting my hands, and I had like a quilt that I just used to. What was I talking about? How am I liking my new job? I really like my new job. Next week, Monday, I'm going to do like my resume and talk about like how I got my job and all that stuff. My new job is good. Is it as exciting as teaching? No. Is it as interesting as teaching? No. Does it fulfill me the way teaching does? No. Do I miss my students every moment of my life? But I'm making a lot more money. I'm a ton healthier. I'm a ton happier. It's a much better environment. Like, everyone there, like, if I fuck something up, people are really nice about it. And then, like, everyone there, like, wants me to learn and wants me to grow. Like, I didn't see a path forward in teaching, and already in my new job, they're talking about other departments I can move into. And, like, I feel like my workflow there, like, my day-to-day is very manageable. Like, I don't feel like I'm on a hamster wheel and I can never catch up. So there's pros and cons. I would say, like, the pros about teaching are crazy high and the cons are crazy low, and this job has more pros. The pros aren't as high. And you get work from home days. Yeah, so tomorrow's actually my first work from home day. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm a former librarian. Now I do data entry, and I feel the same way. Yeah, it's good. Like, it's a good job. It's a positive environment. They have amazing benefits. So I actually think, like, the job I have right now, I'm kind of like meh on. Like, I like it. It's good. I'm learning a lot, and I think it was like I'm a good fit for it. But I like definitely know I don't want to be in my department forever. Like, I think after a year or two, I'm kind of gonna want to like shift and go to a different role. So I like, even though I want to change jobs eventually, I really love the company I work for. We have a very positive culture. They're really into work-life balance. Like, they're giving us they give us time off for things. Like, they give us random long weekends. Like, sometimes like people get work from home days. Like, they're flexible if you have something going on. We have really good health insurance. Like, it's just a very positive environment. So I think even if I change roles, I don't see myself leaving that company for the foreseeable future. I have no desire to. I know I've only been there a couple months, but I really like the company I work for. It is a little culty. Like, we are giving WeWork vibes a little bit, but it's good. I was going to work in Parks and Rec and got a degree in it, but now I'm looking at Parks and Rec and I'm looking for other jobs, so I don't actually like it. Yeah, sometimes the job you thought you wanted, you get into it and you're like, oh, I don't really think I'm vibing with this. Also, this is Prince George County Public Schools to religious holidays that have existed for thousands of years. Bestie, it's real estate. It's always a little culty. Yeah, that's what I think it is. Like, I think just because a lot of people are really outgoing and gregarious, I think that's like why we kind of give that vibe. And a lot of the people I work with, like, party together a lot, and I'm not into that. I'm not a big drinker. Like, this is how I like to drink. I like to have 1 or 2 sweet drinks in my house chilling. And they like to go out to clubs, so I don't really like that. So I think that's also why it's culty, is because some of them are really close, you know? I'm about to go into my teaching credential program, and I'm kind of nervous how much I'll be up against as a teacher. It'll be okay. Like, it's going to be fine. I like the way that tastes, but I hate the aftertaste. So, just because your first teaching job, maybe it'll be great, maybe it won't be. That doesn't mean you need to leave teaching. I knew I was not a forever teacher, but I'm in a place right now where I know I'm going to be back in the classroom in some form or fashion. I would love to teach community college. I would love to teach part-time. So, like, don't be afraid to be a teacher because, like, it's not a monolithic job. Every school is different. Every position is different. Like, you can find something in teaching that is perfect for you if that is what you want. You know what I mean? Like, there's always a way to make things work if that's what you want. So don't be afraid of, like, all that you're up against. I mean, it's going to be hard. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. It's probably going to be really hard. But you'll be okay. And you can find a good situation, and it'll be vibes. It was a very traumatic experience. Someone threatened to kill me in the condiment aisle. Oh, my God. I think I missed something. I used to work at a grocery store that was very culty, and they would shun you if you left, so now I can never shop there anymore. Oh, my God. Was it Trader Joe's? Tell us if it was Trader Joe's. I feel like it was. Okay, another Prince George County Public Schools. So, dog, 2 kids just got in a fist fight in my class. This is another one that I think was sent during school. This is from a student, and I think they sent it during school. Dog, 2 kids just got in a fist fight in my class over a goddamn gimp kit, and our teacher was like, not my job, and didn't do anything. Didn't even call someone whose job it is. He just let them duke it out while the rest of us were sitting there. He was even like, the rest of y'all need to keep reviewing. Your test is coming up fast. Oh my God. This white motherfucker turned on gospel music to try and calm us down. It'll be no surprise that he's the only white fool in the room. Pretty sure that's racist. It feels racist. He's not even a Christian. Shaking my head. This is literally your teacher. Like, why would you put on gospel music and why would you not call anyone? Like, I never had a fight in my classroom, but there was one time that, like, there was almost a fight in my classroom and I was fucking shaken to my core and I could not have pressed that button fast enough. And when I pressed it, it didn't fucking work. And so I literally, like, was the teacher next door. I was, like, on the door and he came in, but by the time he even got there, the situation had, like, diffused a little bit. So they didn't end up fighting, but, like, all that to say, y'all had panic buttons. I did. It didn't work, but I had one. I mean, it didn't call 911 or anything. It just called the office. So, but yeah, like, I don't know how you just let kids fight in your room. I could not do that. Also, I was really proud of myself for this gift. I felt like it fit really good for this story. This is what working in Prince George County Public Schools seems like. If you are working there, I am so sorry. If you are working there, like, you deserve therapy, you deserve financial compensation. The only thing I can offer is a Google form, but you deserve all of those things because this is terrifying. Truly, madly, deeply. Honestly, I think, like, over half of these were from Prince George County Public Schools because we have, like, 50-something slides and we're already on 30. Our school talked about putting them in, but it was expensive, so they made us all download an app called Stop It. Prince George County Public School workers are the true American heroes. It seems like from all of these stories, they're either the true heroes or the true villains. It seems like quite the mix in Prince George County Public Schools. I'm still not over the Stop app, KWolf143. The Stop app, that's just a messaging app to the admin. Like, it essentially gives them a push notification. That's horrifying. How did you deal with the conflict after? Were you able to resolve it with the students, or were they just disciplined? I don't even remember. This was, like, my first year teaching. If I remember correctly, they were both football players. I had a conversation with them about it. They were friends, and it was just kind of like something got out of hand, and they, like, were getting too rowdy. Like, it wasn't a super malicious or deep fight. So I do vaguely remember talking to them about it before their football game. Like, they had a game and I pulled them aside beforehand, which I don't think their coach probably liked that very much, and was like, hey dudes, like, what happened today was really not chill. And, like, this is probably exactly how I said it too. I was like, what happened today was really not chill, and, like, that can't happen again. And it honestly freaked me out because, like, it's my job to keep everybody safe. And, like, these were 2 football players. They were huge. So I remember telling them, I was like, y'all are 2 big dudes. Like, I know if you're or I wouldn't say that. It's like, if you're joking around, you're not going to hurt each other, but you could hurt a bystander on accident. So, like, that's why we just don't do that at all, no matter what. And I remember them being like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Sorry. Because it was like, it wasn't a super deep fight. So, like, they could be around each other again. But I was like, it freaked me out, you know? Because, like, 2 big people get in a fight in a small room, that has a lot of people in it. Like, that's not good. They did install vape detectors in student bathrooms, though. Priorities. They said the vape detectors are in. We had the budget for the vape detectors. Absolutely, we did. All right, so more education horror stories. When I was in middle school, I had the absolute worst teacher on the planet. This was in 2015, but she's still teaching at the same school. This particular teacher was notorious for picking 1 or 2 students in each of her classes to verbally abuse, and I happened to be one of them. She never called on me when I raised my hand to ask a question, and when I asked her to explain something to me, she would yell at me in front of the entire class until I cried. Oh, Jesus. She would also yell at you for asking to go to the bathroom, drinking from your water bottle, etc. One day when I came in late due to an appointment and asked for instructions on what the class was doing, she proceeded to scream at me, claiming I was pulling a stunt to get into the other English teacher's class and a bunch of other stuff. Then when I was at the point of tears, she asked me to stay after class. I walked out with everyone else as the bell rang, and she chased me down the hallway and grabbed the hood of my jacket and yanked me backwards all the way to behind her door, choking me with my hoodie, and then she yelled at me and spit in my face till well after the next bell. My parents had meetings with her and the principal, and they did nothing about it. Oh my God, the chat. Let me catch up. Let me finish this one and then I'll catch up with the chat. The abuse continued and I went to my next class in tears almost every day, and eventually it got to the point where I sat in the office instead of going to her class every day. Finally, around March or April, the principal said I could switch to the other English class, but I would have to switch all my other teachers for science, history, and math because my school had teaching teams, which was weird as fuck. But at that point, I didn't want to switch a whole new classes with 6 weeks left of the year. This teacher would also make us handwrite drafts of essays that ended up being 5 pages typed. She would take my work, put a C or D on the top, and hand it back without even reading it. She traumatized so many kids in that high school when we went and took all the kids who had her for English and put them in English classes together with a nicest English teacher because they knew we would need extra help. I'm in college now and I still have trouble with giving presentations or even asking professors for help because of how this woman treated me. Anyway, she still teaches at that same school and is currently doing the same thing to my friend's little brother, and I have no clue how she is still a teacher after how many kids she has done this to. Ugh, God. That's terrible. Let me catch up with the chat for a second. We had an app at our Applied Tech Center for students to anonymously snitch on each other, but people would get mad if someone smoked before class without them, and they'd snitch for revenge. Oh my God, Pastor Zanny. That's like that when your friends smoke without you, so you snitch on them to the snitching app for the school. That's hilarious that there was a school snitching app. That's kind of smart. It's kind of funny. Have you seen Abbott Elementary? Not only have I seen it, I fucking love Abbott Elementary. I want season 2 to come out right now. The vape detectors just reminded me that at my school they would close off the bathrooms because of kids doing drugs and stuff in them, and then we really needed a teacher would stand outside the stalls to make sure you weren't doing illegal activities. That's such a violation of your privacy. That's like literally prison. Like, I do feel for schools because, like, what do you do about that? Like, what's the other solution to that? But, like, bro, that's bad. Okay, I know vaping is really bad for kids, but the way admins all over the country have latched onto that as an issue is legit weird to me. Like, they've ignored every other issue that has existed for a while to focus on one single issue. I think it's because vaping is new. Like, they feel like they can do something about it just because it's new. I don't know why, like, my camera had me so far to the side. Like, I think just because it's new, people feel like it's solvable, I guess. It's almost like if we address mental health, we might have less vaping or other drugs. Yeah, for real. All the kids I know that were addicted to vaping had, like, a lot of other shit going on. I'm so excited for season 2 of Abbott Elementary. Oh my God. Okay, content warning, sexual harassment, and assault. So when I was in high school, I had a principal who would have cheerleaders come into his office and have the students bend over his desk. Jail, prison, death penalty. He would make weird comments towards all of the girls and female staff at the school. He was so creepy, he wound up getting fired because he gave an STD to a construction worker that was rebuilding the school. He also had students regularly get suspended for having sex in the school bathrooms. We also had students regularly get suspended for having sex in the school bathrooms and buying and selling drugs from the teachers. This is in Alabama. Hello, FBI. Like, literally, who do we report this to? Like, Joe Biden? Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris, what's your phone number? I need to talk to you. Something happened. Oh my God, a long chat. Let me read this. Okay. First time chat too, Rezaru. So the young 20s track and lifting coach at my high school had a full-on relationship with a girl student. He was apparently shirtless in her hotel room on a track trip. Ew. Then during the summer, they were fully together making out at a music festival. They broke up at some point while she was a senior, but yeah, the school ignored it and never did anything about it because it was a rumor, but everyone knows he still teaches there. That is disgusting. At the music festival, they had a whole ass relationship. That's batshit crazy. What's Joe Biden's plan to end this man? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. That is what I want to know from Joe Biden. What's your plan to deal with this? Because, what the fuck? Mr. President? God. Also, thanks everyone for the follows. Wine and Dak Drama, a carrot, Tater Thoughty SX. We love that. Welcome to the party. What is Joseph Robinette Biden going to do to fix our public schools? Not shit. So, did I expect much from Joe Biden? No, I did not expect very much from Joe Biden. I had a feeling he was going to flop on everything. Oh my God, Mr. President 111 said yes, question mark. So I had a feeling Joe Biden was going to be a flop. I did not have a feeling that Miss Dr. Jill Biden was going to be a flop. Dr. Jill Biden, I really thought she had us. I thought education was going to get better. I really thought that it was, and it didn't. And I'm wondering where she is, because she said some things that I would like to bring up now, and I'm just not really seeing much follow through there. Okay, so just wondering if you could share how disappointing our Teacher Appreciation Week is. Our admin bragged about supplying walking tacos for lunch. What is a walking taco? It's just a taco you walk around with. When lunchtime came around, there was barely enough taco meat for half of our teaching staff. Most of us didn't pack lunches because we were told we would have this, so instead we're all eating cold chips. Also, coming from a school that's over 50% free and reduced lunch, we're lucky to get anything more than a handwritten note from one or two students, which we appreciate, but overall this is sad and kind of a joke. The thing that makes me the saddest about this is the teachers still being like, oh, we're still grateful for what we got, because you deserve fucking stars and stripes and the red carpet, bitch. You deserve so much better. We love a handwritten note. We always love that from a student, and I'm glad she said, which we appreciate in case the child is watching this. But the fact that she's like, oh, we're on 50% free and reduced lunch, we're lucky to get anything. No. You deserve the world. You deserve the world. It's like a bag of Doritos with taco meat and all the fixings. Oh, that sounds good. I'm very much into that. Walking tacos are good. They don't really have them in the South. Yeah, I'd never heard of that. I'm going to Google it. Walking taco. I think I've heard of this now that I'm seeing it. I've definitely seen this before. Ugh, now I want that for dinner. Damn. They're like an upper Midwest thing. Oh. The more you know. The more you know. Ooh, a long one. Okay. In 5th grade in 2011, trigger warning. In 5th grade in 2011, boys had a week where they would grab girls' crotches and chest, but the main boy who started this was the principal's kid, so they didn't tell parents or do anything for a week and a half. I told my mom this year and she never knew. God. Not the principal's kid. Okay, now we're moving on to Michigan. I go to school at Michigan State, supposedly the #1 education program in the country. MLA Format 94 followed me. Oh my God, I feel like an essay. The #1 education program in the country. Learning how to be a teacher over the past 4 years would have been hard on anyone, but the structure of MSU's College of Ed is so problematic and puts so much pressure on student teachers with little support. My cohort is so unprepared to enter classes next year to finish our internship and get our teaching certificate. This 5th year of our certificate is for a grad level program, which comes at a $36,000 price tag. We are grad students and interns partnered with local districts already under immense pressure and rapidly losing teachers to burnout. The university should have told us our placements 2 months ago, and the vast majority of us still have no idea where we're going to be. My classmates haven't been able to secure housing for the fall because many of them don't know where they'll be placed. We aren't paid for our work, and even though we'll be doing the same labor as certified teachers, a friend who's currently in her internship has told me horror stories of hers and other experiences, including an MSU intern who had a mental break and had to be hospitalized. So many instances of abhorrently racist instances of importantly racist incidents involving high school students have been swept under the rug by admins and their district. This is a messy one. Active attempts to get the university to address these problems and provide support to student teachers have been shot down and brushed away. Last year's cohort petitioned the university to address these issues and got a meeting with President Stanley, but it was unhelpful. The president of the university doesn't know anything about the program or any program for that matter. And my attempt to address these issues during a town hall, which was in the middle of the day when students were all in class, so no one could come without skipping, and also created for after students last year complained about all the lack of communication about the program. So the town hall with the director of the programs, Dr. Gail Richmond. I love that you're dropping so many names. I love that you're like, here's their full government name. Like, here's who said this. That's why I dropped out of grad school for school psych. I love dropping out of grad school. It's awesome. I've done it twice. We're just brushed away. It's terrifying to me how many people are quitting the program and leaving education before they even get the chance to start. The financial pressure is so overwhelming, especially since we're paying $36,000 for a full-time job, grad classes on top of it, and aren't getting paid at all. They pay mentor teachers in partner districts for the extra work for training us, but we get nothing. It's absolutely fucked, especially when you consider that education, as we know, is on the brink of collapse. I can't fathom how the College of Education sleep at night, knowing that we are being used as sacrificial lambs when they just know how dire the situation is. It's unconscionable. I've attached a link to all the write-ups of grievances and shared with the director of programs during the town hall. This includes a statement by myself and some of my classmates. This is from Ashley Rose, and this is, again, Michigan State University. Because my family hasn't Gail Richmond in Michigan. What? Oof. First chat, Johnny Levy. Hi, welcome to the party. At my high school, there's known as the 10th grade chemistry teacher who is nicer towards girls in the class, gives them higher grades, etc., but is also always staring at them. Many students have filed complaints about it, but the administrators definitely know, but nothing has been done. That's terrible. God. Oh, let me open this link from all these submissions. So she sent me this link. We're not going to read through all of them because it is like super, super long. Maybe on another episode we'll read through everything, but you can see like these are all the complaints that Michigan State is ignoring. Like it has tons of people's like names on them, which hopefully they're cool with us sharing this. I'm assuming the person that sent it to me would have checked. Sorry if you're on here and you didn't want this. But yeah, you can see they're like super long and there's a lot of them. So the fact that the school is ignoring all of these is big concerning. But yeah, maybe we'll read through those on another ep. All right, admin told me to keep an eye out for these two students in one of my classes because they had a history of not getting along. I complied, but also offered solutions to separate them into different class periods as I had space in my first period. They promised to look into it, but nothing changed. A few days later, students got in a huge fight in my classroom. After that, it still took admin a week to change their schedules so they weren't in the same period. Thankfully, they were suspended so they didn't show up to my class, but the fact that it wasn't an immediate change after the fight was baffling to me. Bro, administrators will be taking the fucking longest with the most obvious thing ever. Like, you'll literally be like, this is 2 clicks. I need you to click 2 buttons on this website on your computer, and it will be done. And they'll be like, I'll get to it when I get to it. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, I know there's a lot of good administrators who do a lot of shit, but, like, to some of them, what are you doing? Just change the schedule. All right. During second semester of freshman year of college, me and my friend got written up for drugs because we were sitting in his car and he was holding a grinder, an empty grinder, I might add. We were on the street in front of the dorm buildings and an RA walked by and saw it, so she reported smoke tunneling out of the car. Bro, an RA is like, it's a good gig, but it's a narc job. You know what I mean? Like, if someone was, you can tell how someone was as an RA, because if they're like, I loved being an RA, it was the best job I've ever had, that is narc energy. That is narc energy, and that is Disney adult energy. But if someone is like, yeah, being an RA was dope, I got free housing and I got free food and it was great, some of the residents were really cool, that's how you know they were cool. You know what I mean? The RA used to be a dealer too. This is my story. Oh my God. Lauren. Okay. You should have put that in the story. That seems like a really critical part. They used to be a dealer. Bro, now this RA, it seems like I've changed my opinion. This RA is actually a genius because they're like, I'm going to infiltrate it. I'm going to infiltrate this system. And if I am the biggest, not the RA to Disney adult pipeline, if I am the biggest narc as an RA, someone feel free to clip this. If I become an RA and I am the biggest narc ever, and I'm also a drug dealer, then I'm not going to get caught for dealing drugs because everyone thinks I'm a narc because I'm being a narc as an RA. So this RA that you submitted this story about is actually maybe a genius. Like, maybe they're actually playing 4D against all of us. Okay. Let's focus. Smoke is tunneling out of the car when we weren't even smoking. This incident occurred on a public street in front of campus, so when we were questioned by admin, we fought it. They told us it was actually private and belonged to the college, and we had to drug test. We both played a sport. After we both passed our drug test, the situation was dropped. Good thing you both passed. That would have been awkward if you didn't. She didn't even deal at the time. She's just a bitch, low-key. Okay. So the next year, my car got keyed on campus. This was the second incident on campus of someone keying my car. It happened on the same street that the grinder incident, and when I reported it, I was told that the school did not have access to the security cameras because it was a public street. The same street that technically got me into trouble with academics and future as a nurse 6 months prior is now a public street because they didn't want to deal with my problem. The university switching between saying it's a public street versus a private street based on their own interest. This is really funny to me, and the fact that you just told me that this person is also a dealer makes it even funnier. Like, sorry that your car got keyed. That sucks. I hope that it wasn't that bad. I mean, it probably was because just you're getting your car keyed. It sucks. But this is like pretty objectively funny. I'm sorry for your loss. Quarter life crisis. Our queen quarter life crisis isn't even here, and we have hers. Listen, I was never more burnt out in my life than I was as an RA. I feel like it probably really varies on the school, too. I'm sure that runs super different at different schools. All right, I've been avoiding going into education for a long time. The biggest reason is probably because of the aftercare program I worked at in my district before moving for college. So many illegal or just sketchy things happen while working there. One year, our supervisor had us come in a week before school started to complete all the mandatory training modules. This was a paid day because we're hourly employees. Ugh, I'd be burping, that's one thing. We completed the whole day of training and went about our business till a month into school. Our supervisor let us know on a Friday that she had given us the wrong training modules. We were told we'd have to complete them on our own, unpaid over the weekend before work on Monday. I was in Disney World that weekend, so ain't no way I was doing that shit. I showed up for work exhausted to be notified that none of us did it like she asked. She told us we would have to complete the hour-long training unpaid during the time we were scheduled to start work, meaning instead of clocking in on time, we would only be allowed to clock in an hour late once we completed the training. This is illegal, BTW. Being sleep-deprived from Disney blew up on her. I walked out that day and tried to contact the principal. She never got back to me, and I never went back. Everyone else eventually got back paid, thankfully, because I advocated that they needed to go to the district about it. Bro, having to do unpaid shit is the worst, because, like, who do you think you are to be all up in my time like this? It was worse the first time than the second, but hilarious. Yes, I'm glad you can laugh about the situation, Lauren. All right, so I went to a private Catholic high school, and our health class was a total joke. I'll never forget the day that our health teacher wrote a bunch of different kinds of birth control on the board, the pill, IUDs, arm implant, etc., wrote their percentage of effectiveness, then erased them all without explaining any, and wrote abstinence, 100% effective. I raised my hand and had to ask what an IUD was because I'd never heard of it, and she said, the only birth control we should be talking about today is abstinence. This is like an SNL skit before SNL got to be terrible like it is now. A high school student's like, hey, I'd like to know about this safe birth control option that a lot of people take advantage of and works very well for them. And the fucking health teacher's like, we're not going to talk about that. We're only going to talk about abstinence. Oh my God, lemur banana. Shit lesson, but a spectacular hook. They did a good job. Like, I'm going to be honest. The content I'm not with, but they did a good job in their presentation. I also went to a private religious school and legit did not get any sex ed of any kind. I went to a public high school and I didn't get sex ed. I got sex ed at this, like, hippie church that I went to. parents went to this hippie church and they taught this sex ed class. You sound tired? Thank you, Karen Defender 1992. That was kind of Karen energy that you said that, I'm going to be honest. I appreciate you being here, but I am kind of tired. I had no sex ed in my school. I'm going to tell you about some things that happened in sex ed at my public high school as soon as I finish reading this one. Jesus doesn't want you to know what an IUD is. Jesus said, that's between me and God. You don't need to know. My school was the only one in the area that taught sex ed. Okay, so I raised my hand to ask what an IUD was, and she said the only birth control we should be talking about today is abstinence. The kicker was her son had gotten his girlfriend pregnant in high school, and because she went to an all-girls Catholic high school, she was expelled when they found out that she was pregnant. My health teacher's son was not expelled. I need to show you the meme that I made about this. Catholic schools when teenage girls get pregnant because they had no sex ed. Please tell me y'all know this banger of a song. Please tell me y'all know this song. I'm gonna wait and make sure that y'all know this song. I also went to a religious school until high school and got no sex ed until I was in high school, where someone literally in full seriousness asked if ear sex was a real thing. I feel like everyone has the shared experience that someone asked that in sex ed. JoJo is my girl. Of course we know this song. Even babies know this song. Okay, let's get back to the story. Okay, when my younger sister had the same teacher a few years later, she gave out an anonymous survey at the end of the course, and my sister was brutally honest on hers about disliking the class and how she didn't learn any helpful information about sex or birth control. The teacher recognized my sister's handwriting and pulled her out of class to scold her for the things that she had written on the anonymous survey. My parents were pissed and called the school, and they made the teacher apologize. I'm sure she's still teaching there, pulling the same BS as always, and this is in Ohio. My health teacher taught us sex isn't love. I love my dad, but I wouldn't have sex with him. Why would anyone think of that sentence? I can't even, why did your brain create that? Why did your brain create that? And why did you let it come out of your mouth? And then why would you say it as a teacher in front of children, as a health teacher? So I'm going to tell y'all about some of the crazy shit that happened in sex ed when I was in high school. So I took sex ed at a public school. It was in 9th grade health and PE, which I actually took in summer school. I took health and PE in summer school the year before 9th grade, or was it the year after 9th grade? I don't remember. I took that in summer school because I wanted to take an extra art class or some bullshit like that. So it was for a couple days. The literal cackle I had when I read this. So it was for a couple days, and I remember one exercise they did is they gave us all Jolly Ranchers or peppermints or something like that, and they were like, oh, put this peppermint in your mouth, swirl it around, eat it a little bit, don't bite it, put it back in the wrapper, and then they made us pass it to the person next to us, and they were like, that's what happens when you have sex. That's what you're like afterwards. You're used and you're dirty and no one wants you. Because everyone was like, see, do you want to eat the candy that was just passed to you? No. Even if it was from your best friend, you still don't want to eat it because that's gross. And then because me and my best friend are disgusting, we ate each other's anyway just to make a point. So, if you're watching this, that was iconic that we did that and no regrets. So that was one thing they did. They also did the tape. So they put a piece of tape on, you put a piece of tape on your arm and then you take it off and it's see, now you can't stick the tape. Sex is when a wet Jolly Rancher. They don't think people shower between partners. I think they meant emotionally. So the tape one, they were like, look, after you put your tape on someone, oh my God, I have tape, I'm going to do it. Okay, someone clip this because I should put this on the internet and you all are all my personal assistants apparently. So this is what sex ed was like when I was in high school. So, I have it on my hair. So they would give us a piece of tape, and then you'd put the tape, on your arm, and they'd be like, this is what happens when you have sex. You're putting your tape on someone's arm, basically. And they're rub it on there real good. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. They're rub it on there, and they're now take it off. This is not sex ed by Miss Redacted. This is a reenactment. I would never teach sex ed like this. Take it off, and then they were like, look. Oh, it didn't work. It did work. They're like, look, now you can't tape to somebody else. You're useless and no one wants you. This is giving keep your legs closed tour from Twitter. It really is. So when I was in high school, this was sex ed. They'd be like, look, your tape is useless. No one wants you because you had sex and you can't stick to anyone else because you gave your heart away. And I was like, this is a public school. And like, I was in 9th grade and my mom was pretty sex positive. And she had always told me like, sex is something you do with someone that you love and respect. Like that's what she always said, is you should only have sex with someone that loves and respects you. So I like already kind of knew that this was not true. And I was like, this does not seem right. Like, I don't think what you're teaching us is right. And it was like these old men football coaches. And then they made us do these little scenarios where it was like the role playing. And it was like, let's have sex tonight. And then it was like, no, I don't want to do that because I care about my future. And I remember, I really am not being shady by saying this. If you went to high school with me and you're watching this, and no hate to anyone involved in this, I'm so sorry if this hurts anyone's feelings. But I remember I felt so uncomfortable because the gym teacher like picked these people and was like, you guys are going to do this little role play activity and of like refusing to have sex. And on this scenario, it was the girl who was pushing to have sex. And the girl that he happened to pick is someone that had had certain rumors about her around the school about things she had done. And I remember her doing it. And like, if you're watching this, you held it the fuck down. Like, you were up there with confidence, and I respect you because I would not have been able to do that. But you could kind of tell she was, like, uncomfy with it and knew people were, like, whispering and laughing about her. And I just, looking back as an adult now, I want to, like, literally go give her a hug and be like, hey, let's not do this. So, that's something you should only get volunteers for. Like, that's not a cold call prompt, you know? What else did we talk about in sex ed? Oh, the other thing we talked about, this lady came and she was a teen mom and talked about how it ruined her life so much. And now her son was a teenager and he basically, like, this is about to get real graphic, so I apologize for that. But her son was a teenager and she basically was like, I told my son if he wanted to, like, be up with little girls at parties, he needs to wear a latex glove because you never know. And, like, it was just so weird and such a fever dream. Truly. I'm really proud of this meme, though. I'm really proud of this meme. This was a good meme. Okay, this is the shamed for showering naked from Mr. President 111. Love Mr. President. I had amazing sex ed. Literally in middle school, they had a lady coming in and talking about consent and safe sex. A glove, did she mean a condom? No, she was talking about, like, she basically said that she gave her son a talk and was like, if you're gonna finger a girl, wear a latex glove. Is what she told us, essentially. She didn't say it like that, but yeah. And she was like, no girl that you're getting down with at a party on the couch is going to still think that you're cute when you pull out a latex glove, so that's why you should just be abstinent. And I was like, I feel like we're really creating a false dichotomy here. Like, I really feel like we're creating only two choices when there's a lot of different choices. My school district sent girls who got pregnant to the alternative school. So one dream that I have is to open, not an alternative school, but like a charter school or a magnet program. I don't know the legalities of any of that shit. I want to open up a school that's for teen parents, not just teen moms, teen parents. One sec, pulls out a box of latex gloves. I want to open a school for teen parents that is also an early childhood education center. I want it to be 9 through 12 high school, like maybe 8 through 12, and then ages like 8 weeks is like the standard. 8 weeks to 5 years is what I want for that school. And then once you're 5, you just go to kindergarten if your parent is still in school. Because I think it would be really cool. No, I'm going to just we'll get through the rest of these submissions later. I'm going to tell you all about this because I have a little Google Doc with all my ideas. So it would be for parents. And, like, I would keep academics pretty slim. Like, I would keep academics, like, just the basics that you need to graduate, making sure you're on grade level and that you're getting the skills that you need. And then I wouldn't really have regular electives. So, like, we're not going to have art class. We're not going to have music class. You do that with your baby at school. You guys are going to do that together. Like, it would be combined classes. So, like, instead of you going to art class, you go get your baby and take them to the art room and make art with them for an hour at school. Like, that's what I think would be the best for everybody involved, because that way, like, the parents and babies are still getting to spend a lot of time together. Parents are getting a holistic education. Babies are getting a holistic education. Like, I think that it would be such a good environment to have everybody at the same place, like, interacting with each other that way, and doing, like, the kind of little parent in me classes. Yeah. And not even necessarily classes. I feel like it would be difficult to coordinate that, for it to be like, oh, it's art class with a teacher and like 30 kids with their babies. And like, I wouldn't do that. Like, I would have like, it would be more like do-it-yourself kind of vibes. Like, I would have like a room with supplies and stuff where like you went and were one-on-one with your child, and we would have like people to give you ideas and have shit there for you and help you and coach you through like how to do art with a baby, would be part of it. Like, there would be a facilitator that would help people out, like teaching assistants, but I think that would be really fun and really cool. And I think it would definitely be a vibe. Same thing with music. And like having outside PE recess time. Like, it would just be like field day for everybody, cross grade levels. Everybody goes outside. Lunch, I think everyone should be eating lunch together with their kids. Exactly. And that would just be like, that'd be the requirement of the school. Like, I would just do it that way, and I'd be like, if this is not what you're down with, then you're just not coming here, because this is how we do things, you know? It would only be for people that wanted to do their education that way, which, like, I know it sucks. Like, I was talking about it to someone, and they're like, oh, well, that's so unfair to the teen parents that, like, they're not going to get AP classes and, like, all the electives and all this shit. And I was like, that's part of being a teen fucking parent. Like, sorry, that sucks. Finish school and have fun in art class with your child. Like, I'm kind of very a tough love person, but, like, that would be my thought process on it. I think if I was an adult and my teenager had a child and I found out about that school, I'd be like, yep, that's where you're going. That is where you're going. I think that would be a great principal of that school. And we'd provide transportation offs. I kind of wish I was a teen mom just so I could go to the school. That would be the problem, is that like my school would be such good vibes that people would be like, damn, should I have a baby to go to that school? I would have to keep it low-key. Like, I'd have to keep it under wraps. Like, we couldn't do anything on social media, you know? There are bigger concerns at the moment than AP classes. Exactly. Like, I feel like we can deal with that later. You have your whole life to take AP classes. All right, so I'd adopt a baby just to attend. All right, let's go through Mr. President's submission. I had gym before lunch when I was in 7th grade, which is also basketball practice for my small private school. I wasn't very popular with all the girls my age who probably thought I was a lesbian, which wasn't okay in 2006 at a Christian school. The showers in the locker room were one long room with showers on the walls, so we all had to shower together. While I never had a problem with showering in front of other girls, most prefer to shower with bathing suits on. I didn't think this was hygienic and chose to shower naked like a slut. That made me laugh so hard. I was like flipping through these at my desk today, and when I read chose to shower naked like a slut, I busted out laughing and had to make something up that it was about, because multiple people asked me what I was laughing at. After a few weeks of this, girls complained, and the school counselor called my parents and told me I was being immodest. I had to start showering in my mom's old one-piece. The worst part is that the PE teacher would come into my last period study hall and loudly complain about how stinky we all were. Kids do be stinky, though. Kids do be stinking, is one thing. I don't think this is the last one, but we're almost done. All right, this is a 1 of 5. We're going to see if I can get through it with my attention span. I can't stop burping from the drink. Okay. I can still smell my high school, and it's been 9 years. For elementary school, I went to a private Christian high school that was connected to a very large church in the suburbs of Raleigh, North Carolina. The staff heavily favored kids who attended church there on the weekends, so often that they would be really lenient on punishment for church member kids and over the top for non-church member kids. On a personal note, this school is the root of all my religious trauma, and one day I will make it burn to the ground again. There was this boy, we'll call him L, who had a crush on my friend, we'll call her S, and did the usual thing 11-year-old boys did to get 11-year-old girls' attention, until one day he went too far. Oh my God, Gab Page, this is yours. We had a Spirit Week side quest called Silent Days, which this is what this GIF is about. We had a Spirit Week side quest called Silent Days, where on day 1, girls wouldn't talk to boys all day, and whoever kept their pin got a candy and spirit points, and then the next day it was the opposite, and the boys had to ignore the girls all day. Which, like, who came up with that? I'm really failing to see any reason to do that. Like, I don't get it. Normally I'm on board with stuff, but I don't understand. So each day we were encouraged to try and get them to talk to us, because whoever got the most pins out of the opposite sex on the day got a prize, and Spirit points toward their class. Looking back, it was so sexist and weird because it just furthered the gender divide that the Christian ideology pushes and was ultimately super gross. That's what I don't get is like, why? What? I don't understand that game, I guess. This is very odd. Anyway, this was 6th grade, so we all got his designated snack time in the lunchroom, and we were on our break when multiple boys were messing with our tray table trying to get our buttons. This went on for a couple minutes with Elle and another being on the main instigators until Elle took it way too far. My friend S was wearing a giant hunting coat and metal tooth zipper, and it was zipped up most of the way, but there were a few teeth unzipped. In an attempt to get S to talk to him, Elle grabbed the hood of this coat and yanked on it. He pulled so hard that S was yanked back against the back of the chair and was basically restrained there for a few seconds before he let go. Our other friend H had to scream at him to let go, and when he did, there were marks in S's skin from the teeth of her metal zipper. S was choking and coughing. He pulled so hard. Elle didn't think he did anything wrong, so he demanded S and H's pins and wouldn't take no for an answer until they finally handed them over. Wait, I just moved to Raleigh. What church school is this so I can avoid? I don't know if they said it or not. It just says a private Christian school in the suburbs of Raleigh, North Carolina. I don't know. My Catholic school did the pins thing too. I did not burn the school down the first time, I swear. Gab Page, if you want to share what school this is, someone's asking, but we get it if you don't. The school burned down in the early 90s/early 2000s when I first started there, and they were in a different building because they were building the new facility. Oh. Okay. We spent the rest of the break time trying to convince S to go tell our teachers because he literally assaulted her over some dumb Spirit Week game. She finally did tell our teacher, and Elle got sent to the principal's office. He didn't ask anyone that was at the table what happened, and the admin just took it as her word against the situation and made him write an apology letter to her and set out for recess for basically 5 minutes, and they didn't even proofread it before he handed it over. So it basically read, "I'm sorry, I like you, will you go out with me?" She turned him down. There was no call home to either parents or his about the situation. And after he handed over the letter, they just let it go, which was the wrong thing to do because a few months later, a group of us are playing flag football, and he accidentally threw a rock at us. Threw a rock at the group of us standing there and hit S with it. She had a bruise, and again, all he had to do was write an apology note with no call home to either of the parents. Men and boys after literally assaulting you. It's Hilltop Christian School near Fuqua, Verona, I don't know. So all of this to say, abolish rural Southern Christian schools, or all Christian schools in general. If I'm being honest, they do more harm than good, and fuck that school in particular and all the trauma that it caused. My parents like to say college is where I learned to be a feminist, but it was actually watching the admin of my school stand by and do nothing to protect my 11-year-old friend from this bully who attacked her on multiple occasions and felt entitled to her person and attention. He barely got a slap on the wrist for this, and it was because his family were active members of the church that ran the school, and they didn't want blowback from it, and because Christian organizations as a whole make it a habit to discount and not believe young girls when they report abuse at the hands of anyone. And love how we're like all informing each other of the schools to avoid. Love that for us. Not bye bitches. I am going to hang out for a while because it's only 9:09. That's like honestly pretty early for me. But here is the doc if anyone wants to submit a story, but we need to take our class picture. So what meme should we use to take the class picture? I kind of think this one, but also I kind of think I need to make the text bigger for the thumbnail is also what needs to be happening. Let me know what meme you think we should use for the class pic. I think that one was the best one. Where'd it go? Oh no, here it is. Let me know your thoughts in the chat of what meme we're thinking. Let me actually go ahead and edit this SOB. Make this a little bigger. There we go. Scooch you on over. Presenter view. Boom. All right. I like the Mean Girls one. That's also a good one. I remember in 5th grade, the teacher lectured him after the rock incident, but for real, it did not help because he was so fucking privileged and allowed to get away with anything. Ooh. Not a vibe. Very much not the vibes. Yeah, it's not it. I feel like my window looks kind of weird right now. Queen Jojo. Okay, everyone smile for our class photo. Use your emotes. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you. Some of our emotes got approved. This is the better American flag one. I told you all I was getting a better thumbs down American flag. I told you, and it's here. It is here. I kind of want to make it different now that I'm seeing it. I hate it again. Interesting. There's the other one. Which one do you like? I got sorry to the chat. I have a queue. Can I submit a Zillow ugly house somewhere? Yes, you can submit a Zillow ugly house. It's in my link tree. I feel like it needs to have a transparent background. Ooh, I agree with you, Cartwheels. I always love any ideas for emotes that you have. We also have me annoyed holding this poppet. You can't really see me that well, though. I kind of suck at this emotes thing. I'm not going to lie. I'm not very good at it. Oh, the chat's broken again. Just in time for our classic. Love that for us. Here, let me fix it. Add a layer. Caught a vibe. That song gets stuck in my head so often. It's kind of disturbing. Why is it glitching like that? Okay, I fixed it. Are we only doing ugly houses on Monday, or can we do super cute ones too? We can do whatever you want. The Zillow thing, it doesn't have to be ugly. And we're going to be doing that like sometimes, all the time, whenevs, you know? The Zillow thing, you can submit an ugly house. You can submit a pretty house. I'll talk about it regardless. Irregardless, regardless, whatever you want to say. But yeah, we're going to take our class pick in a couple seconds. I like this meme. I'm happy with the meme that we picked. Oh my God, the dog. Let me also put the form in the chat in case anybody wants that bitch. We love, we stand. Okay, I'm about to take our pick. Everyone smile. Oh, I look naked. Damn it. Let me fix my shirt. I always look naked in this shirt. It's kind of like a naked shirt though, you know what I mean? All right. Dun, 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 dun. Love this song. It's a great song. Oh my God, hi everyone. Okay, we live, we laugh, we have our class picture. Gorgeous, so cute and gorgeous. I love this for us. I'll hang out for a little bit longer. Do y'all have any other workplace tea you want to spill? I showed the vice principal at my mom's school Nearpod and Slidesgo, and she got so excited. She loves them all and is going to use them. Thank you on behalf of her. Oh my God, of course. I love Nearpod. Nearpod is my shit. Absolutely. Love Nearpod, stand Nearpod. Love it, love it, love it. There's the form again if anyone needs it though. Love Nearpod. Here, let me finish my drink. We can chill out. We can chill. We can hang. Good vibes only. Do, 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 do. My whole Instagram feed is about bananas at Trader Joe's, and I fucking hate bananas so much. I started hating bananas when I started to teach preschool because I would see them all the time and they just grossed me out. You guys, TikTok support is ignoring me right now. Per usual. Per the usual. Do I want dinner? Do I want dinner? I already had all that spinach artichoke dip, but I feel like that's not dinner. Okay. I need to get my life together. I'm gonna go hang out with my so cute and gorgeous boyfriend. All the things. I hate fruit cups now because I had to clean up so many with the preschoolers. I hate bananas because I used to feed them to the preschoolers all the time and they would spit them up on themselves and bleh. Hate bananas now. But this was great. We're living, we're laughing, we're loving. At the previously mentioned grocery store I worked at, someone fainted into the glass donut case. People shoplifted a basket of wine in front of me and I didn't notice. Oh my God. So actually while we're here, because I'll forget, let me do this shit right now. I'm going to make a Google form for us. Let me delete this screen share layer so that I can do what I need to do. So let me make me bigger. There you go. I'm on the big screen. Let me make the chat bigger. There you go. So I'm going to make our Google form about the workplace drama while we're on here so that y'all are holding me accountable. Also, would you like me to do this in the future? Like, I can start to stream like this, like just my face and the chat, and then be working in another window. If y'all are down with that. Can we get a boyfriend reveal? No, because me being this way on the internet and him like affirming and agreeing to that, I don't think his employer would love that. So no, you cannot get a boyfriend reveal, but he's great. Y'all can get reveals verbally about him, but you will not be getting the what you want. You will not be getting a full reveal. The chat is broken again. When is the chat not broken? Is the better question. Chat. We're chatting. We're chit-chatting. There we go. Chat. So you have a better workplace than he does? I don't think it's that. I think it's that like his work cares more. Like I think not his work cares more, like my work cares, but like I'm very low. Like I'm very low down, so they don't care, but he's like high up, so I think they care. You know what I mean? Also, like, he works in finance, he handles money. Like I like update websites and like make little graphics on Canva. Like I just think it's different, you know what I mean? So my work doesn't care. Actually, I don't know that. Maybe they're gonna find out and they'll care a lot, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll see. We shall see. Okay, so I'm making a Google form for all of our crazy work submissions. What color should it be? We're gonna go pink. What's your personal advice for men who don't have female pass? I don't think I know what that means. If we're being like 100% honest. Don't think I do. Pink. We love pink. Female access. What is that? I think I'm stupid and I really don't know. What job do you have to make things on Canva all day? That's my dream career. So it's actually not really what I do all day. Like I do that a lot, but not all day. Female access sounds like commodifying of women, so I would tell them to go to therapy. Yeah, that. Lauren Upper, I take her advice. She's correct. So my job is basically like, I work at a real estate place and like agents pay us money to like be a part of us and get to use our shit, like get to use our little softwares for like documents and bullshit like that. So like they have to pay for that stuff. So like they should be using it and enjoying it. So I'm the person they call if they need something. So if they're like, hey, how do you do this? I teach them how to do it. Or if something's like broken or not working right, like I'm the one that has to fix it for them. It's basically because like it's fancy and it's expensive. We don't want to just give them like a random ass customer service phone number. So it's like me. And I have a list of people that I'm in charge of. And so, and like if they need to print something out and they can't figure out the printer, I'll help them with it. Like that's just my job. It's cool. Oh my God, my chat right now is going crazy. I don't hold women to that high value. Sometimes I feel ashamed. Karen's a troll. You know what we're about to do? You're getting a timeout. I'm not blocking you, but I'm giving you a timeout. You have a 10-minute timeout because I am respectful. I'm going to give you a warning. That's your warning. If after 10 minutes we're still here and you're still being fucking weird, you're gone. You're welcome. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Okay. I'm making our Google form right now. All right. I'm so excited for the form. Me too. I'm focusing really hard right now. I'm trying to decide how I want to do this. Okay. Gonna air all about all my boss's old habits. This is like the most boring thing ever. Shout out to the 57 people that are here watching me make a Google form, except you can't even see it because I get self-conscious when people can see me type. I never knew who my boss was because she never showed up to his own store. Oh my God, I had a boss like that who owned the restaurant and never came into it. Okay. I have tea to spill. It's okay. I'll wait. We're all waiting to spill the tea. Okay. Okay. Short answer. Can we ask how you met your boyfriend? Yes, you can. We met on Hinge. Hopefully he's okay with me telling you this, but I really liked him because like I was very traumatized. Like I was like very traumatized and I was like, I'm not gonna have a boyfriend ever again. I'm never being a girlfriend. I'm never getting my shit rocked again. Like absolutely not. And so I was like, I'm just gonna go on dates and I'm gonna get treated fucking well. That was my intention with going on Hinge. And I think it's very important to have like a good intention for yourself of what you are hoping to get out of being on there. Because I used to be on dating apps and all I wanted was a validation. And that is not a good intention to bring to an interaction with a person that you might be romantically interested in. So I got off dating apps for a long time. When I got back on, like, pretty shortly after I got out of my really like horrifying relationship, I matched with him and he like didn't really message me that much. Like he messaged me and was like, hey, I'd love to take you out. What's your number? And I fucking like that shit. I was like, yeah, fuck talking back and forth. Like, let's go out. You can take me out to a date, like a real date. I'm not just going to be texting you all day like we're 12 years old. And then he called me, which was chaotic. I gave him my number and he immediately called me on the phone, just called me, no text, just called me, which was terrifying, but I picked up. And then he was like, when are you free? Can you go out on a date like on Friday? And I was like, yeah, I'm free at this time. And I was like, I'm free at this time. And then he was like, okay, let's go in this area. And I was like, okay, sounds great, see you then. And then I hung up because I hate talking on the phone. And I was like also making dinner. I was cutting an onion and I was like, I cannot fucking do this right now. So then I hung up on him. Like I told him, I was like, yeah, sounds great, see you there. Didn't give me a place or anything like that. And I told him I was free around 8. So I was like, yeah, text me, bye. And then I just and then I just hung up on him. And then he texted me like the next day at work and was like, hey, we're gonna go to this place. Sent me this is like dick energy right here. Sent me the like Google Maps of the restaurant, said I made a reservation for this time, like can't wait to meet you. And I was like, I like that shit right there. And then I was like having a fucking panic attack going over there because I hadn't been on a date in so long. I was having a fucking panic attack going over there to the date, and like traffic was kind of bad. We were supposed to meet at like 8, and I was in the Uber, and it was like 8:04 or something like that. And I texted him, and like I think it's good to be late for stuff like that, like by a few seconds. So I texted him, and I was like, hey, traffic is really bad. I'm a couple blocks away in an Uber. And he was like, great, I already have a table, like whatever. And I don't know, I just really liked that. I'm hoping he took you to Olive Garden. No, he didn't. It was a nice place. It's like a normal place. Like it's like I don't know, I give it like an 8 out of 10. I like their food. It's a good place. It's in a cool area. It's like right by my house, whatever. And I thought that shit was so fine. Ugh. Incredible. Chef's kiss. He was there, had the table ready. I found out later that apparently he got there early as fuck. So yeah, that's how I met my boyfriend. And that was our first date. Thanks for asking. Holy shit, can you clone him? A man that takes charge like that is so attractive. I wish I could clone him. Have like an army of them and just replace all men on Earth. You know? Okay. So I made the Google form. I would love to know anyone's feedback. Let me send it in the chat and open it in a new window and reshare my screen. Hold on. Male replacement theory. Mr. Redacted sounds so nice. Okay. How many people are still here? 53? That's impressive. Okay, here's the Google form. Let me share my screen and show it to you. Let me know what we're thinking, if we want to add anything, any questions or anything like that. Let me rearrange my chat guy a little bit. I love the color. Thank you. I'm actually doing a rebrand, and that's going to be my new color, is this like kind of pink. And it's going to be like, I'm making a website. Well, I'm not making a website. Someone that knows how to make a website is making me a website. And it's going to be like pink. And I want the vibe, like, y'all know my pink collage, like behind me that I use. I want like that. There we go. I want like that kind of a vibe of my pink collage, like Bratz doll, early 2000s. Like that's the energy that I'm going for with this one. So yeah, let me know what you all think. But here it is, the spill the tea. So work, drama, gossip, and horror stories. All I put was tell me the story, and please be sure to include the industry this occurred in. Because I think it's like important to know the industry just for context. And then if they want to shout out, that's really, I kind of want to leave it open to interpretation. And I put that these will be shared on Twitch, so please redact any info that you don't want shared. Feel free to use fake names for establishments or people involved. Speaking of pink, are you excited for the Barbie movie coming out? Absolutely, I'm excited for the Barbie movie coming out. When does it come out? Pink suits you, major Barbie vibes. We love pink. We love pink. We love pink. It's the best color. It really is. I don't know, it's currently filming. Oh, I guess we'll see when it comes out. This was a good stream. Let me move my mic. I feel like this was a good one. We had a great time. We were productive. Margot Robbie is in it. I saw that it was originally supposed to be Amy Schumer, and then they switched it to Margot Robbie. And can I just say, that is a much better choice. That is a much better choice. Because Amy Schumer, I don't even mean any shade to her. Like, I'm not saying she's a better choice because of any physical attributes. It's a better choice because Amy Schumer just gives off the worst vibes. Like, when she fake fell down at some award show, I was like, dude, I just realized I can control my name color. I do not understand Twitch. Amy Schumer would not have done Barbie justice. Yeah, that's just not her energy. It's really not. Man, it's already 9:30. She really is just bad all the time. Has anyone submitted to this? I want to see. Oh my God, some of y'all are fast. Oh my God, Betty Crocker. I'm going to read yours right now. You're going to be the first one. Not me already submitting a workplace paragraph. No, it's an iconic moment. So I won't drop the name since it's family owned. Also, these, I'm probably not going to make these into a nice little slideshow. Like, we're probably going to do it like this. Like, this is probably how this shit is going to get done. There we go. Like, this is how we'll do these. That's cool. Everyone's cool with this, I'm assuming. Right? Like, we're cool with doing it this way. Also, I forgot I was hired on the spot, which is a red flag. That is a red flag. I was hired for my teaching job on the spot. I don't care how it comes to me. Just give me the team drama. Okay, so I won't drop the name since it's a family-owned grocery store. I should also mention I was threatened in the condiment aisle. I was threatened in the condiment aisle. My coworkers found out I made $8.50 an hour and got so mad they threatened to quit unless they got a raise. I was constantly berated by everyone and no one did anything. People were constantly stealing and would blame the employees. They would work over everyone, including minors. I fully collapsed at work from being tired and got written up. I didn't even get my last paycheck after I quit, and they begged me to come back. And this is Betty Crocker on Twitch. I cannot stop burping. You were paid more than them at $8.50 an hour. It's like y'all were both victims, and they somehow were like, fuck you, bitch. Okay. I can't believe it's already 9:30. I have to go. Unfortunately, I have to go. I don't have to go, but I want to go watch Breaking Bad and hang out and like vibe out before I go to sleep, before I get to work from home tomorrow. Also tomorrow, oh my God, let me talk about what we're doing on Twitch tomorrow. So tomorrow we're talking about the war on drugs on Twitch. We're talking about like, I know we already did the history of marijuana, so we already like touched on the war on drugs, but we're going to talk about the war on drugs and the CIA and like all that bullshit. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, sorry my schedule was a little weird this week because my sister was in town. Actually, I'm not that sorry. It was like good vibes only. Thank you all for being here. This was a really good stream. We're living, we're laughing, we're loving. If you have any horror stories, tea, drama, whatever. Oh wait, today's Tuesday. OMG, a day to shit on Nixon and Reagan. I love it. Literally, like the only thing I've done for that slide is make a like shitting on Nixon slide. Happy work from home Eve. Happy work from home Eve. Can't wait for tomorrow's stream. Okay, good night. Love you. Make good choices. See you tomorrow. Everyone better be on time. I will be here at 7:30, which we all know me getting here at 7:30 actually means me getting here at like 7:45. Somewhere in that range. All right, love you. Good night. Sleep tight.